Yes, ma'am. Tell us your name for the record.
Alexis Garrett.
Yes, ma'am.
My husband, Ben Garrett, was the driver of the golf cart on April 28, 2023, along with 3 other of my family members. My son, Brogan Garrett, was a passenger in charge of playing the music and holding Eric's suit coat. And my brother, Eric Hutchinson, and my new sister-in-law, Samantha Miller Hutchinson, were all in the golf cart. Your Honor, I struggled with what to say here today because nothing will convey the depth of pain and struggle that we have endured all of these months or feel adequate to express what was lost that night. We spent the entire day of April 28, 2023 together. We started setting up for the wedding that morning on the beach with our entire family helping. It was a perfect day and a beautiful wedding. I have never seen 2 people happier or more in love than Eric and Sam were on that day. We were still cleaning up at the wedding reception venue when I got the call that changed our lives. I was told my husband and son were involved in an accident and to come right away. Most of that night and the days and months that followed are a blur, except certain moments that will forever stick in my mind. Arriving at the scene, to so many police and medical vehicles, running in my bare feet to the crash site, seeing the chaos and destruction, seeing what I didn't even recognize as a golf cart scattered across the road, seeing my husband in a terrible state lying on the road covered in blood, and then being loaded onto a stretcher. I was not allowed to get close to him or anyone there. The days that followed were heavy as we tried to comprehend the loss of Sam while trying to navigate the physical injuries Eric and Ben both had. I remember going floor to floor to each of their rooms in the hospital to see them, all while my son recovered at our rental house with my other 2 children. That day that started out so blissfully happy ended in absolute tragedy. The defendant stole the life of the most vibrant woman with the best laugh and the most gorgeous smile. Losing Sam created an irreplaceable void in our family. The pain of losing her is an ever-present reminder of how fragile life can be, and it has left us in a state of grief that is difficult to put into words. My brother Eric is never going to be the same. I have never experienced that depth of pain and sorrow when we were in his hospital room the days following. And he would wake up and not remember what had happened, and we would have to tell him all over again. The past 19 months, he has struggled to continue to live. We have worried we would lose him many times since then because the sorrow and survivor's guilt are just too great to comprehend. He suffers from many physical injuries that cause him daily pain, but nothing will ever compare to his shattered heart. My husband has experienced many physical injuries. He was covered head to toe in road rash and deep cuts and gashes. He spent 11 days in the hospital in Charleston. 9 of those were in the burn unit, undergoing surgery to clean out his many wounds. He underwent physical therapy to be able to walk with a walker and had to be able to sit long enough to endure the long flight home. He is the strongest man I know, and to see him in so much pain was one of the hardest things I have ever done. He continues to have physical pain limiting so many of his daily activities. Many days even walking is too much. The repercussions of that night extend far beyond his physical scars. They have left emotional wounds that we will carry indefinitely. My son, who was 17 years old at the time and merely a passenger in what was meant to be a joyous celebration, has been deeply affected emotionally. Witnessing the aftermath of that horrific accident has instilled in him a sense of fear and anxiety that he struggles with daily. The innocence of his childhood and my other 2 children has been stolen and replaced with an overwhelming sense of drama. It is heartbreaking to see my children struggling with feelings they should never have had to experience at such young ages. Being here today was a conflict for us. We We live in Utah, and we had to leave behind my daughter, who cries and breaks down at the mere mention of South Carolina. And the thought of returning to the state terrified her. And bring my youngest son, who didn't want to be parted from his father and brother again. Whenever I go 65 miles per hour on the freeway, I now think of how fast that really is. And that they were riding in a golf cart. It's terrifying to think of what they experienced as the defendant hit them going so fast. We know that it is nothing short of a miracle that these three men are still with us here today. And we know Sam had a lot to do with that. She is love and light, and the world will not be the same without her. No family should have to endure the heartbreak and suffering that we have due to this completely preventable tragedy. I do not believe this was merely a single act of recklessness. It has destroyed our family, shattered dreams, and left lasting scars on all of us. We will never be the same. Ours is a life sentence without Sam, and with all of the physical and emotional injuries that the defendant has left in her wake. Thank you for your time, Your Honor.
You're welcome.